Public affairs programs prepare students not only for careers in service to the public, but also for lives engaged in activities that are responsive to the needs of humanity. So, according to the Network of Schools of Public Policy Affairs and Administration, or as we in the field refer to it as NASPA, the mission, governance, and curriculum of NASPA accredited programs should demonstrably emphasize public service values, which includes the promotion of participation and civic engagement. It's probably no surprise then that the curriculum in many public affairs programs often includes an emphasis on philanthropy. And as a means of teaching philanthropy, experiential philanthropy has become an increasingly popular pedagogical strategy. Experiential philanthropy is a hands-on teaching approach that not only educates students about social issues and nonprofit organizations, but it also provides them with funds, actual money, to distribute to nonprofit organizations that they believe are best suited to address the social issues that they've learned about. By participating in this act of philanthropy, experiential philanthropy is intended to motivate and inspire students to become lifelong givers and stewards of their communities. Now, although there's been consistent evidence of short-term gains in different student outcomes as a result of participation in experiential philanthropy, there's only been limited evidence of the pedagogy's ability to sustain these outcomes in the long term. So in this study, we explored whether experiential philanthropy is associated with long-term philanthropic and prosocial outcomes of former course participants. To do this, we relied on a unique data set that we created from 5 years worth of responses on pre-course, post-course, and follow-up surveys of public affairs undergraduate students who were enrolled in a course with an experiential philanthropy component at 2 different universities, one located in the eastern US and the other located in northeastern China. Using this data, we found that similar to prior studies, there were significant positive short-term gains in philanthropic and prosocial outcomes of students in both the US and in China. However, these gains, we found, were not lasting several months to years after their completion of the course. Interestingly, although we didn't find evidence of significant long-term effects, we did find that US students scored slightly higher than their Chinese counterparts in terms of short-term outcomes, and Chinese students scored higher than their US counterparts in terms of long-term outcomes. Now, ultimately, we believe that the findings from this study raise a number of important questions. First, should public affairs educators be satisfied with short-term gains in student outcomes? Secondly, what specific efforts might be used to sustain short-term outcomes in the long term? And finally, it would be useful to know whether there is something unique about experiential philanthropy within public affairs education compared to other service learning endeavors. This might help to explain these findings. Now, although the data in our study did not allow us to answer these questions, the answers to these questions will certainly be critical for the design of effective experiential philanthropy initiatives and public affairs programs in the future.